All right, hello everybody, and welcome to update 1 for the Champion Cyclone League Start build. We are currently sitting at level 84 with a slash played of 11 hours and 41 minutes. So basically the end of day 1 of the league, 24 hours into it, I should say. I'm currently looking at this for my Atlas tree. I think I have 54, almost done with white maps and halfway through yellow maps. I got some red maps here. Might as well pop this in here. Here's the map mod: vulnerability, monster turbo, less area. So this is actually gonna be smaller cyclone size than what you will have with your build. Let's just do a map real quick and then I'll explain roughly what I have done. It's pretty much identical to what I thought I was gonna do with the leveling process, but I made a couple key differences. The first one would be taking on the passive tree, the node which gives you onslaught effect and percent armored evasion during onslaught. We're playing the champion, obviously, so we're always fortified, which means with the perseverance belt we always have onslaught. So permanent onslaught is very nice, and then with these 3 points you get 15 effective onslaught, 15 effective onslaught, 30% effective onslaught for a total of 60%. That is 12% attack speed and 12% movement speed. That alone for 3 points is kind of worth it. And then on top of that you get the 10% armor and then 30%, so 50% armor and evasion with 12% attack speed and 12% movement speed. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll take your boots, buddy.
This will be easy.
I'll be taking your boots. So the build is performing about as well as I expected it to. I don't think it's like performing any worse, and it's definitely not performing better.
It's not often
I'll show you my gear here in a second too. As you can see, the area looks a little bit smaller because we have a 25% less area of effect modifier here on the map. Again, actually, is it? Yeah, it's 25% less. We have no map explicit effect just yet. The damage is perfectly fine. Also, if you guys are struggling with any build that you are playing in the damage department, please remember that the mercenary counts as a party member and thus scales the enemy's health bars up. And it is 40% extra life for rares, 50% extra life for these unique monsters. So these bosses have 50% more life than if you weren't running a mercenary. Keep that in mind. Whoa! Yes, guys. Okay. Yes, I have fart sounds on my loot filter. What are you going to do about it? Huh? What are you going to do about it? Other than that, though, I mean, we're running super fast through the maps. The area, again, this is 25% less area, which is actually quite impactful. I probably should have chosen a different map for you to see the, the area of effect. In fact, let me just cut to a different map here. 3, 2, 1. All right, here's a different map with no less area penalty. You can see it's quite a bit larger. This is with Delirium. This is a tier 10 map, by the way. The other map was a tier 11, so, you know, basically the same monster level and monster tankiness from before, and we are doing just fine. So the first question that you might be having if you are following along with this build, hey, that helmet is already being sold. Let's go. Why did the Russian players always do minion builds? I'm just saying, no hate, not to be racist or anything, but why do all the Russian no, seriously, all the Russian names are playing minion builds for some reason. Sussy. So one of the most frequently asked questions thus far is how to deal with mana issues, and that is simply speccing into Thrill of the Battle over here on the right side of the tree, right above Fatal Blade right here. Thrill of the Battle gives you 2 hit per attacks, which actually is very relevant for Cyclone because Cyclone has very low mana cost. It's 7 mana right now. So every time you hit, you get 2 flat mana back. That's very good. And then also the reduced cost going into it. You can also take the 12% increased mana reservation efficiency mastery if you really need to, but I haven't felt the need. I have literally 53 max mana right now. That is using Blood and Sand, Pride, Herald of Purity, and what's the last one called? Flesh and Stone. I'm using all of my reservation stuff. Whoa, holy jewelry, dude. And it feels perfectly fine. But if you're still running into mana issues, even with Thrill of the Battle, then I would suggest you take the 12% reservation efficiency mastery, and that should solve everything. The next question after that is stuns. And stuns actually have not been an issue for me at all. I'm running the Brine King Pantheon. So the first one right here in the top left soul. The Brine King can't be stunned if you've been stunned in the past 2 seconds. Hey, level up. Good timing. Good timing. Where are we going with this one? We could take... probably another jewel socket, honestly. It's like a jewel socket. Need more percent life. Brine King Pantheon alone should be enough, but you can also run a flask mod. I am right now. Right here, 49% chance to avoid being stunned during effect. You're pretty much always going to have your flasks up while you're mapping, so 49% chance to just straight up ignore a stun. Sounds pretty good. And other than that, there's really not much else you need to worry about with the build. You have plenty of damage. Yes. Okay, guys, we got fart sound effects. Okay, very funny. Haha. Loud is funny. Farts are funny. Haha. You have plenty of damage, plenty of speed, plenty of AoE. You're just chilling, bro. We're just spinning and we're winning. Let's see what the boss looks like. Big damn, big damn, big damn. Go, 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 go. Also, I definitely have negative chaos res right now. Don't pay attention to that, though. It's not a big deal. All right, so that's roughly how the build looks. I will hover over all my gear real quick. For a sword, you want to make sure you get an exquisite blade if you can, because it has 50% global crit multi as an implicit, so it's always on the weapon. Very, very, very valuable. If you can't get that, then just get the highest physical damage per second sword that you can. Doesn't really matter past that. Other than that, it's just like extremely basic gear. I just upgraded my amulet to get the anoint for kinetic impacts. Make sure to get that as soon as you can. Gives you quite a bit of damage. Boots, just get movement speed. You're playing Cyclone, so movement speed is obviously very important. The Perseverance belt, thankfully this thing is very, very, very cheap, as I expected it would be. If you get a good roll like this, 8% life is the maximum. 37 out of 40 cold res is really high. Honestly, I'd value the percent life over the cold res, obviously. Just try and get suppress anywhere you can. I think I'm at 97% suppress out of 100. Yeah, I'm at 97 spell suppress, so we need to get 3% somewhere else. This chest piece is actually pretty good. I forgot how much I paid for it, but it's 2,000 basically armor evasion with 7% physical damage reduction with an open suffix. Right now it's crafted on spell suppress, but I'll probably change that once I get spell suppress on probably my helmet, maybe my boots, probably helmet though. We'll have to see. The gloves are there, and then the last ring is right there. So pretty basic gear overall. Just get a Perseverance as soon as you can. Gives you quite a bit of damage. Right now in Hideout, unbuffed, no Mercenary, we're sitting at 7.8k armor and 10.4k evasion. Pretty dang solid. We pop our flasks. We're sitting at 12k and 18k respectively, almost 19k. And then we have a Determination aura on our Mercenary. This jumps up to I think 28k or something with the Determination Mercenary. Pretty darn tootin' there. This is what the passive tree looks like right now. Highly recommend that you get Uber Lab done as soon as possible for Master of Metal. I think in my the guide that I recommended that you take Unstoppable Hero as your third node. I would actually change that and do Master of Metal as your third node if you are still following and leveling up through the campaign. Get Master of Metal as your third node. It's not good for slams, but once you transition off of Sunder into Cyclone, you'll do that before you probably are ready to do Uber Lab, and at that point you do want Master of Metal because it gives you a ton of damage with your Cyclone. Very, very nice. But Unstoppable Hero is still fine. It's not like a dead choice if you pick this instead of a Master of Metal. Just, I would probably prefer the damage over the extra survivability of Unstoppable Hero is all that I'm trying to say. Other than that, the skill tree pretty much looks identical to what I was going to do with it. The only change really, again, is adding these 3 nodes right here for the 30% increased onslaught plus another 30% there. So 60% onslaught effect, 50% armor and evasion rating for 3 passive points is very, very, very good. Again, that is 12% attack speed and 12% movement speed. That is the culmination of those onslaught effect nodes. Plus, this opens up the mastery here for the 8% increased armor and evasion per endurance and frenzy charge, respectively. That's going to be useful once we get into Replica Badge of the Brotherhood, where we're stacking Frenzy Charge. We're going to take this one. We're going to take this one over here, and then we're going to anoint probably Frenetic up there. So that mastery becomes even more versatile once we get to that point. Other than that, yeah, just don't forget this bleed cluster right here. This is very, very, very important. Bleed cluster is super, super good. This gives you 190% critical strike chance and a 30% crit multi for 4 points. Sorry, I put up 3. For 4 points. It's insane how good the cluster is. Very, 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 very good. But yeah, other than that, if you guys have any questions, again, for mana issues, simply do Thrill of the Battle. You can also take the 12% reservation efficiency if you need to, but really just Thrill of the Battle should be enough. And then for stuns, you really just want to take Soul of the Brine King plus the chance to avoid being stunned during Flask Effect. That should be enough for both of those problems. If you have any other problems, let me know in the comments below. I will update you guys with another video. Maybe not tomorrow, but definitely Monday or Tuesday. I'll update you with part 2 of the Cyclone Spin2Win shenanigans. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Also be sure to stop by my stream at twitch.tv/WoolieGaming. Thank you very much. Goodbye.